Today is that day. We're not above the law.
Police officers often end up breaking the same law they swore to protect. Today, we'll be looking at these cases where corrupt cops did the unthinkable and ultimately faced the consequences of their actions. The person being tried here is former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Noel. Jamie remained sheriff till the end of 2022 before a state investigation opened into his misuse of funds as sheriff. He was immediately placed on administrative leave in November 2023 and was subsequently removed in January. Apart from this, Noel faced 25 felonies for stealing country funds and vehicles. He was accused of stealing approximately $5 million in taxpayer money, from which he even bought a personal Cessna airplane. His wife Misty and their daughter Casey Noel are also facing multiple felonies. Jamie made his first appearance in court on the 11th of November 2023 after facing the charges.
Said property having a value of at least $50,000, that being on January the 2nd, 2019, you traded a Utica-owned 2017 Chevrolet 3500 Silverado for a 2019 Challenger SRT Hellcat with a specific VIN number and titled said Hellcat in your own name on October the 10th, 2019. You then personally sold said Hellcat.
Noel was also being held accountable for forcing county employees to work on his personal properties or run errands for him while they were on county time.
Count 8, ghost employment, is a level 6 felony. It would indicate that between November the 9th, 2018 and December 31st, 2022 in Clark County, state of Indiana, you, in your capacity as Clark County Sheriff, a public servant, did knowingly or intentionally assign to Michael Bowling, an employee under your supervision, duties that were not related to the operation of the governmental agency that you serve. That means sheriff assigned Bowling duties on your personal property, rental properties, father-in-law's properties, pole barn, and property of Utica Fire Department. Ghost employment is a level 6 felony. Would indicate that between November the 9th, 2018 and December the 31st, 2022 in Clark County, state of Indiana, you, in your capacity as Clark County Sheriff, a public servant, did knowingly or intentionally assign to Rodney Wobbly, an employee under your supervision, duties that were not related to the operation of the governmental agency that you serve, that being sheriff, assigned Wobbly duties on your personal property, rental properties, father-in-law's property, pole barn, and property of the Utica Fire Department.
The judge himself appeared quite angry at Noel as he read out all 15 charges against him. He proceeded to tell him the potential consequences he could face if he was found guilty of these charges.
No, the first 3 counts are level 5 felonies, which have a range of imprisonment from 1 year to 6 years, with the advisory sentence being 3 years and up to a $10,000 fine. Counts 4 through 15 are all level 6 felonies, which have a range of imprisonment of no time in jail, treated as a misdemeanor, to 2.5 years at the Indiana Department of Corrections, with the advisory sentence being 1 year and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Throughout the court proceeding, Noel kept a straight face, displaying no remorse for his actions.
Your client has a passport.
The state attorney even argued that Noel must not be given a bond, but after hearing the case, the judge decided that he would grant him a $75,000 bond. However, that did come with certain conditions.
Will surrender his passport to you by noon tomorrow, and then you will surrender it to the court by 4 p.m. next Monday, because it's my understanding the court here is closed tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
He will surrender all firearms except one shotgun of his choice to Indiana State Police. Be it from the country, or as Mr. Wilder said, Washington County. I keep my shotgun with double lock near me, along with my .45, but I think one shotgun for personal protection is appropriate for him to maintain. Will not leave the state of Indiana without permission of the court, and they'll post $75,000 in cash. Mr. Noel, try to deceive me, you will not like the consequences. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, Judge, the issue of return of all other items, see if we could just take them in another hearing.
As expected, Noel immediately posted bail and was out. However, later in March, officers searched his residence to discover several firearms hidden inside. Noel had done exactly the opposite of what the judge ordered him to. Therefore, on April 9th, he appeared back in the Clark County Circuit Court for a contempt of court hearing. On this occasion, the judge was visibly fuming.
I told Mr. Noel, don't do anything stupid. Do not try to deceive me, defy me. You will not like the consequences. Today is that day. You are not the law. You don't interpret the law. You don't enforce the law. You're not above the law. I find that you are in contempt of this court. Take him into custody.
The judge angrily announced the sentence for the corrupted sheriff, and the whole courtroom erupted into applause. His attorney tried to contest that, but the judge remained resolute and paid no heed to any objections.
Oh, that's enough. I'll find you guys in contempt for disrupting the proceedings, and you'll be right there with him. Now, what is an appropriate sanction? The question is, I can sentence him up to 180 days without a trial, or I can sentence him to a day, or I can release him. You know what I think the answer is? 60 days in. That's what I think the answer is today.
60 days in. Well, the judge resorted to some sarcasm as the sheriff was featured on the first season of the A&E series named, you guessed it right, 60 Days In.
Now, Mr. Wilder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or Mr. Boyles, I apologize, Mr. Boyles, you're lead. Before he is released, I'll take your suggestion. I want an independent individual to scour that household to determine that there's no further weapons. I find it, Mr. Ertle's original argument that he was trying to make that I sustained, an officer of the law. Every time I go into court, I hear, I didn't know it was there. I didn't know it was there. I really didn't. You've heard that a million times. You've heard it a million times, and yet you still take them into custody, would be my guess. Every officer in the world has heard, I didn't know it was there. It's my friends. I'm not buying it. It's your burden. It's your responsibility. And today, the court will enforce that. Take more.
Jamie Noel was immediately arrested and sentenced to 60 days in prison for contempt of court. Well, the trial for his case is expected pretty soon, and he could be back in prison for a lot more time.
But I'm not being detained. No, you're not. We're doing an investigation. Okay?
On November 14, 2019, civil rights activist Michael Peard entered the Stanford government building carrying a cardboard sign that read, property, and attributed it to Stanford City. Soon after he entered the building, the security chief of the building came out and confronted Michael.
This is public property.
This is public property?
Yes.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
I'm the chief of security here,
Okay.
right? I can deem this inappropriate for this building.
By what policy?
By
or what
the
law?
mayor's policy.
Can I see the policy?
I'll be glad to get the director of operations involved, but this sign, you've got to put this down right now, bro.
I'm not putting
You've
it
got to
down.
leave. You've got to leave then.
I'm not putting
Let's
it
have
down.
a talk. Come on. Let's have a talk.
Let's talk right here.
Let's have a talk. Come on.
Let's talk right here.
Okay. Let's go in the office. Let's go in the office right here.
I'm
Let's go in
staying
the
right
office
here.
right here.
I'm staying right here.
All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get the police department involved, and they can explain and go further with you.
Michael was right, as he was in a public building carrying out his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. The security chief had no authority to push him out of the building, and he proceeded to call the cops.
But there is a police on the way,
Okay.
so any chance you want to step outside, or
I don't think I have
you want to speak with them?
I don't think I have to.
Why do you got this sign up anyway?
Because Stanford is threatening to steal someone's property
Steal whose property?
through eminent domain.
What you gotta understand is, you know, we can't have this in the lobby, man. It's inappropriate, bro. It's inappropriate.
Are you all set?
I'm
Do you
all
have
set.
any ID or anything?
Did I do anything wrong?
Well, you're not here with this property sign in front of all these people. So you're here to, what was it again? To protest
To protest the use of eminent domain by Stanford.
eminent domain. What what areas are you talking about? Like the South End or anything?
Pulsaki.
Pulsaki. Yeah, let's talk outside. This Sergeant.
I don't think I have to go outside.
Come on. We're gonna talk to you outside.
Michael was accompanied by a fellow named Michael Friend, and both of them were protesting against Stanford's use of eminent domain on a house.
You want to come along?
Yes.
All right, come on.
It is a government center. You're right.
This is public property.
We want to find out what's going on, brother. So what's going on? What happened? I want to hear your side of the story. That's right.
I just told you. I'm
I
here.
wasn't here.
That's all I'm here to do is protest eminent domain.
Do me a favor. Can we? We're going to seize these two cameras as evidence, right? So what happened? Do me a favor. When he's done, we'll seize the two cameras as evidence.
Okay.
All right. So
Am
what
I
happened?
being arrested?
No, I just want to find
Am
out
I
what's
under
going on.
arrest? Then
I'm just what's going on?
Then I'm not.
You
I'm not
have ID on
answering
you?
questions.
Excuse me?
Do you have reasonable suspicion of a crime?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's not good enough. I refuse
you can't,
to
if they
give
ask you
my
to get off
ID.
the property, you can't come back.
And I just.
We asked you to come out. That's the only reason you came out, though.
Just like the security chief, this officer also seemed to have no understanding of the law. The officer had no right to stop him from filming, nor he could trespass him from a public building. Despite the auditor's resistance, the officers kept on harassing both of them, hoping they'd give in to their ignorance.
You can't go inside because you're being asked to be removed from property. Okay?
Okay, but I'm not being detained.
No, you're not being detained.
All right.
We're doing an investigation. Okay?
But I'm not being detained.
No, you're not being detained. All right, we're doing an investigation. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna leave.
No, don't let him leave yet. Don't let that guy leave either. We're gonna seize their cameras.
Okay.
So what happened?
He just showed up in the lobby.
Do you know who this kid is?
No idea.
Okay, we gotta find out who he is. But what was he's protesting against some eminent domain stuff?
It's a specific property, I think. I don't know if.
This is public property,
Yeah,
correct?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see? I'm not too familiar. Does he need a permit to be out there?
Normally it would, yeah.
Out there, not in here.
Out there as well.
The officers even appeared to contradict each other, as despite not being detained, Michael was not allowed to leave. Moments later, the officers went back to him and tried to arrest him for no apparent reason.
If the security asks him to leave and he refuses, that's different. He refused at first. I want to ID this guy. We have to ID him.
I know the other guy is Michael Friend. I don't know who
Who?
this guy is. Michael Friend.
I don't know
He
who
had
he is.
Two bigger 19.
Just be advised, no warrants for Michael Peard, but he does have a permit and weapon registered to him.
Now, do you have any of your weapons on you at all? Your weapons holder?
Does it look like it?
Well, I'm gonna check right now. But people have concealed weapons under their nuts, so that's why I'm asking you. All right. The reason I'm asking is I want you to know how this process works.
If I'm being arrested, then I refuse to answer any more questions.
Okay.
Can I have a glass of water, please?
No, sir, you're not being cooperative. I was just gonna tell you how cooperation goes a long way.
Michael refused to answer any questions and was just arrested and proceeded to sit in the back of the police cruiser. On the other hand, the cops were now on to Friend as they wanted to seize his mobile phone. Once again, they openly violated his constitutional rights.
What's your name, sir? What's your name?
I don't consent to this.
What's your name? I don't consent to this either. I don't consent to it either, right?
just video recording this.
Okay, and that's fine. You can do whatever you want. But that becomes evidence because you're here and you're recording
I
it.
don't consent to you taking my phone.
Well, you don't have to
But-
because I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, it's part of evidence.
That's fine.
Okay, sir,
I
but I just want to find
appreciate
out
that. Thank
what's
you.
going on. You guys are just doing this here.
Hey, that's fine.
What's your name? What's his
It's
name?
right there, sir.
It's
We got Michael, friend.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm not here to bust any chops, all right? Me neither.
But I'm telling you, do not roast Michael because you're making a big mistake.
Who's Michael? I don't know who he is.
Can you just take me to the do you have insurance? No, I'm not.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is he has a right. I totally agree with you. He has a right to protest, but the people in there, they asked him to leave. There's other kids.
You're gonna have another big problem. That's all.
You know what? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. That's your choice.
It's not my choice. The people in there called the police.
It's your choice.
Well, it is.
You're making the decision to arrest him for his speech. That's your choice.
Well, his speech is offending other people. We're not only his protector. We got to protect the people in there too. Did you forget that? Did you forget that?
Did anybody get the kids' info in there?
No, we got to get kids' info in there. I spoke to the state's attorney. Yeah, John. Listen, everybody's cameras on.
You said that you're going to call the state's attorney.
No, well, yeah. Well, I wanted to confer just to make everything right. And you know what? We have everything here. It's your friend. I don't even know what his name is. I missed it. All right. You guys do have a right, and I agree. You guys do have a right to protest. But when it comes to other people have rights too. You know, Mike. And just be careful what you guys do out here. You have kids that are in there. Not you. I'm just saying the other guy. I'll explain to him too. Not you. I'm sorry. I'll explain to the other gentleman. I don't even know his name. I'm gonna go talk to him. But here's your thing. Just be aware. I understand you want to get points across to people. Just be aware of other people that have rights too. You know what I mean? And we all live in this world together, man. And we have to get along. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Friend was detained for more than an hour, and the officers also snatched his phone just because he was filming the encounter. On the other hand, Michael Peard was taken to the police station where he was charged with breach of peace and interfering with a police officer. His bail was eventually lowered from $250 to a promise to appear. After a long court battle, his charges were finally dropped a year after in December 2020. However, that's not the last time a cop stopped someone from exercising his First Amendment rights.
A public walkway, but it's not normal behavior for someone to film the rear lot of
independent journalists getting content for a story.
Okay.
In June 2018, First Amendment auditor and YouTuber by the name of Northeast Auditor was exercising his First Amendment rights as he was filming the Middletown Police parking lot when an officer approached and confronted him.
The reason I chose to come down to Middletown was a video that was posted a couple years ago with a gentleman doing the exact same thing, and he actually gets detained, which is kind of ridiculous. They end up leaving him alone after a little while, but so that's the reason I try to come out and maybe see if they, learn their lesson, so to speak, or.
What are you doing?
Hey, how are you doing?
243 out. Made at Dingwall, so we're filming.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
What are you doing?
Just got some footage.
Okay. We have a bit of a security concern with someone filming the rear lot of the PD.
It is a security concern for a First Amendment protected activity.
Officer Pixley from the Middletown Police Department didn't seem too happy with the auditor filming the cars, as he proceeded to pose a few questions.
On a public walkway, right?
We're on a public walkway, but it's not normal behavior for someone to film the rear lot of the PD.
Independent journalists getting content for a story.
Okay. All right.
What's your name and badge number?
Pixley, P-I-X-L-E-Y, 10840.
Thank you. Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Just with everything going on in the country, we don't like it when people film our rear lot. It raises our awareness.
It's one of those things you don't have to like it. It's a First Amendment protected activity.
Yeah, and you don't have to like me talking to you, but I'm here talking to you.
You have no reason to talk to me. You always talk to
citizen contact.
You always talk to citizens performing
Just
legal
say
activities.
yourself, you're standing on a public sidewalk.
Yep. This is what the taxpayers of Middletown are paying you to do?
Absolutely.
Well, filming in public is a constitutionally protected activity, and even if it seems not normal, that doesn't make it illegal. The auditor ignored Officer Pixley and continued on his own, but the officer didn't seem to leave him and kept on intimidating him.
Good to know.
Absolutely. What's your name?
I don't give out my name to strangers.
What are you filming?
Just getting content.
What's it for?
Myself.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's great.
You just gonna follow me around?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sidewalk.
Come for a walk.
I will.
So this is what they're paying
You have
Middletown PD. You not gonna come?
You have a wonderful day.
You too.
The officer tried to evade the auditor from the area, but soon left in his car, noticing that the auditor wouldn't leave.
So, as you can see, this is what you get in a police state. Decided he wants to come, but luckily he has to walk of shame. It's good to know that this is what the taxpayers of Middletown pay for. Heightens our awareness, like he said. It's quite comical when performing illegal activity on this public sidewalk.
The officer couldn't extract any information and left by doing a walk of shame. Soon after, the auditor also left the area. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today, we got to see instances where police officers acted out of the law and made poor decisions. The highlight of the video was the first case, as it exposed Jamie Noel's corruption. The corrupt police officer, who faced several felony charges, was ultimately brought to justice and received an appropriate judgment from the courts. It's always satisfying to witness officers being held accountable for their actions, as it reinforces the principle of justice. If you agree with me, please consider showing your support by liking this video, and also make sure to subscribe to stay informed about future cases like these. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video here.